On behalf of the Busoga Consortium for Development, that is led under the stewardship of the Right Honourable Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga, who is the patron of the Busoga Consortium, the third Deputy Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Rukia Isanga Nakadama, who is the chairperson of the Ministerial Coordination Committee, the committee that brings together our ministers from the sub-region to work together for the transformation of our sub-region as a bridge between the executive and the local government, and on behalf of our newly elected governor and vice governor, where the vice governor is Chairman Davison Mulumba Kasajja, who is the district chairperson of Ujiri district, and his deputy is the district chairperson of Iganga district. Allow me to warmly congratulate you on your appointment to the Busoga Consortium for Development Secretariat. Therefore, the BCD exists to facilitate regional coordination of human and natural resources to steer the socio-economic transformation of our sub-region. Our collective vision as members of the Secretariat is to achieve a socially and economically transformed Busoga that stands as a model of regional growth in Uganda. We have set a target as a Secretariat that we shall facilitate and provide support to our leaders in ensuring that this vision is actualized by the year 2030. Quite an ambitious target, but I strongly believe that it is possible because we have the right team in this room to drive that agenda, and we have a capital to ride on. And one of our biggest strengths right now is the political cohesion amongst our leaders. So that can be able to be translated into economic capital if we made use of it very well. So colleagues, you join the Secretariat at a time of aggressive implementation. We have a very strong target that we need to achieve. Allow me to note that by joining the Secretariat, you automatically qualify to be referred to as a patriot of Busoga's transformation. I acknowledge the contributions of many of you. Allow me just note out Ambassador Kalibala. This is part of what we shall be working on as a team to facilitate institutional building and also sustainability of posterity, who offer ourselves to create and facilitate the implementation of the established solutions for the socio-economic transformation of our sub-region. Over the years, we have transitioned from the phase of conceptual planning to absolute grassroots execution, starting with what is possible. In August 2023, Her Excellency Major Rita Jessica Alupo, adding unto what the former Vice President Edward Kiwanuka II had started. Now we need to appreciate her for that, because when leaders come in office, they don't want to know what the others have done. They want to build a new legacy that is only defined of them. But she embraced what the former Vice President had started and launched the Village Agriculture Model Program as a vehicle for unpacking the 10-year Busoga Development Agenda that had been launched by His Excellency the President here at the Civil Service College in September 2020. Under the Village Agriculture Model, or what we call VAM, we set out to champion 12 model villages, and these model villages, they're on the basis of one village, one local government. These model villages are meant to be developed into epicenters for rural transformation by guiding them out of poverty by the end of 2028, using them, and then we intend to use them as drivers for influencing transformation of the respective local governments, consequentially leading us to the transformation of our entire Busoga, reducing, guiding us out of extreme poverty by the year 2030. We have already started on these efforts. By the time you come in, Each village has approximately between 500 to 700 households. We have set a target of guiding 9,000 households from the 12 local governments of Busoga out of poverty by the end of 2028. Right now we are pioneering this in 3 villages, one in Busana, that is in Kamoli. It's in Honorable John Taylor's constituency. Then we do have Mashaga in Mayuge district, and then Namayombe in Namayingo district. Briefly, VAM was inspired by the successful rural transformation works of the People's Republic of China. We have built a strategic relationship with the People's Republic of China as Busoga. Now, at the national level, there is that strategic cooperation between our 2 countries. Busoga rides on the goodwill of the cooperation between our 2 countries to localize that cooperation now to the regional or provincial level to the benefit of our sub-region. It is our flagship vehicle for household transformation. The model does not compete with the parish development model, but rather it seeks to strengthen the parish development model. Here we focus at the village. So in support of the aspiration and the dream of government for Busoga, we are focusing on concentrating on the village. Concentrating the effort of transformation so that it is visible. When we go to Kamoli, by 2028, that village called Busana, we should find there a very good school. We should find there the school feeding program. We've had the First Lady talk about school feeding for children. We are pioneering the soya milk feeding program that was also benchmarked from our Chinese friends, and they have donated to us soya milk processing facilities. Yesterday we handed some of them to the first model school, and they demonstrated very good milk. That milk, soya, children, normally there is something called baby soya. They give soya to boost the body of the children. I think one of the meetings I talked about height, how good feeding correlates with height, how good feeding correlates with weight. It was an orientation meeting. Honorable Brandon was there when the Vice President hosted the members of Parliament and all the district chairpersons. Mr. Gabula was also there in that meeting, Mr. Patrick and Enam and some of us here. She noted that there was need to have a special effort that would make the Busoga Consortium for Development boost and facilitate the effectiveness in the implementation of the programs in Busoga. We sent out a number of all our local government leaders. We sent them out to the People's Republic of China to understudy. In 2020, it was declared that it had transitioned out of extreme poverty. Right now, it's now almost becoming the #1 economic power in the world. We sought to seek what is their story, because the population is too big, the country is too big, one leader, but very united, working together and have worked together to see that the whole China is guided out of extreme poverty. Under the leadership of His Royal Highness, His Majesty the Chabazinga, we initiated collaborations at the provincial level, collaborations with universities, and we identified China Agricultural University, provided leadership for the grassroots transformation of the People's Republic of China. One of the lead professor is called Professor Li. We had opportunity to visit China Agricultural University, OHT was Samuel Kenga, Patrick, and interacted with that professor who is said to be a great engine behind the rural transformation of the People's Republic of China. We want to unpack this PDA in that village during the next 2.5 to 3 years. We want to have this BDA seen, not talked about, not read, but seen in that village. That when you talk about the pillars, the strategic pillars for the transformation of the sub-region, you will see them. You will see the real transformation, not talk about it. So we therefore have an ambitious, non-negotiable target to eliminate extreme poverty by 2028 among the 12 model villages and position Busoga as Uganda's fastest growing sub-regional economy by 2030. As members of this Secretariat, your portfolio will directly interact with our key operational pillars for Busoga Vision 2030. These have been elaborated. Part of it, I saw there was commercialization of agriculture, but we do have education and skills development being championed and steered by Ambassador Agnes Kalibala. We do have industrialization and private sector development, recalling our history and our potential as a sub-region. We do have tourism, culture and heritage. Health Forum is doing a great job under the stewardship of Professor Waiswa Peter. We do have environmental conservation, valuing that this world needs to be kept and taken care of very well for us to thrive in it. We do have the tracking of the manifesto commitments of government to Busoga. This summarizes it all, that within this manifesto, commitments have been made to Busoga. I did take time to analyze the previous manifesto, page by page. I read it from the first page to the last page, and I intentionally noted out the priorities of this of the previous manifesto to Busoga, but very little was achieved out of that manifesto. But we have an opportunity, a very strong secretariat, and I want to request us to get to know what is embedded in this manifesto for the directorate. That is part of our area of interest. In terms of agriculture, in terms of tourism, and then we shall be able now to lobby to have those manifesto commitments actualized. Whether your background is in agriculture, agricultural economics, public relations, administration, you must communicate transparently, share synergies, and complement one another to see that we are able to move faster and steadily. Secondly, result-oriented accountability. We are accountable to millions of Busoga who are eager to see the progress that Busoga makes. We shall not look at the desk hours, but prioritize impact metrics in terms of what is done on the ground. So we are going to focus mainly on seeing results. If your desk manages a portfolio, I want to challenge you to own it. Believe in yourself, bring solutions to the table, conceptualize your ideas, and let it be your responsibility to complement each other in driving the actualization of those initiatives. You have a mandate for Busoga sub-region. I want you to meditate about the position, the responsibility that you sit in, the responsibility for stewarding Busoga as a sub-region. We as a sub-region, of course, I know that we cannot do without the central government. So you have now a direct central government liaison ministry. The central government wants to see a service delivered. But in between the central government and the local government, there are some local governments that have very little interface with the line ministries. You are the bridge. In terms of natural resources, you are the bridge because you were identified, because you possess the strength of providing not only the technical support, but also providing the technical bridge between the ministry, between the agency, and Busoga as a sub-region to lead the transformation of the region in respect of that sector. So therefore, the time we've been in the season of lamentation, we should move away from the lamentation now. And now we talk in terms of actualizing the agenda that has been set before us. So I implore you to focus on making the best of your dockets, to work and facilitate the agenda for the renewed glory of Busoga over the next 5 years. The third cultural attribute that I want us to really focus on is speed and agility. We have very little time, as you have rightly witnessed. We have set very tight targets. Time at an individual level, you have little time to make the contribution you have. Little because every minute that goes away from you can never be recovered. That's the uniqueness about time.